money isn't a math problem, it's an attention problem. And understanding numbers isn't going to make you better at your budget. It's understanding what's capturing your attention. So our brains are constructed in such a way that it has two different modes that decide what's worth paying attention to. And that mode or that system in the brain is called the salience network. The salience network operates in two different ways: the bottom up and the top down approach. The bottom up approach is very automatic. It's cortisol driven, it's instinctual, it is stressful, and it's very much about like detecting threats in our environment. It's a useful system, but it's the system that most of us are operating our budgets and think about finances through, which is what makes it so damn stressful. And then you have your bottom down salience network, which is very dopamine driven. It's intrinsic. It's attached to the things that we find important or find value in. And that's really where we want to be thinking about our money from, because it's like, I described this, I gave a talk about this last week. It's like eco mode for the brain. It's very energy efficient. It's a cleaner form of energy. It's not so taxing to the body. The top bottom up approach is extremely metabolically expensive, because think about it. Like survival mode, running away from a threat, fight or flight, it's cortisol, adrenaline, and glucose, and that's widespread throughout the whole body. Like it's a very expensive process. And so if we're thinking about money through the lens of like an emergency or fight or flight, it's very taxing on the body. And like, no shit, you don't want to open up your spreadsheet or your budget or know how much debt you're in, is because you're operating from fight or flight. So how do we switch over the systems so that you're operating more from your top down and dopamine driven than bottom up and cortisol driven? The best way to break out of this is first you have to become aware of when you are in that like bottom up state. You have to notice like what captures your attention, because that bottom up state is so automatic. It's like when a big loud sound happens, or like a car crash, or like something, like you immediately look to it. It is unconscious. When that happens, when your attention is taken without your control, you have to notice when that happens, especially around money. And so you have to think every single time you interact with money, you have to like have some kind of tagline in your brain, some kind of mantra you repeat, or like some kind of phrase that makes you become self-aware. Like a question you could ask yourself is like, what is the story I'm telling myself right now? That's a fantastic line. Anytime you interact with money, you have to be aware of what is grabbing your attention. And until you become aware of your unconscious mode being activated, you cannot go into that conscious mode. You can create goals for yourself. You can become aware of what's intrinsically valuable to you. But if you don't become aware of when your attention is automatically taken from you, then you can't break out of that state.